The women's swimming and diving team takes part in the Big Ten Championships this weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The four-day meet begins on Wednesday and concludes on Saturday. Head coach Whitney Hite is here. We'll have some opening comments and take questions.
Yeah, we're excited. I think that the meet this year for the women is really wide open, which is an exciting thing for us. There's some traditional teams that aren't as good as they have been in the past, and certainly we're looking at a wide open meet. I was telling someone the other day that we could go from anywhere from, I think the first 7 spots are pretty wide open. So we're in a place that, we've done some things this season that we've never done as far as dual meet victories, and I think that our team is kind of ever evolving, and we keep getting better each time out. So it's an exciting time for us.
You touched on it a little there, but it has been an impressive season on the women's side. Can you kind of describe what the group has gone through this year, starting the year beating Minnesota at home, sweeping the dual at home like that, and to the point that they're at now heading into championships?
Sure. Yeah, I remember my first year here when I spoke with Minnesota's coach Kelly Kramer, and I said, our goal is to make this a rivalry, and that's been our job to make it competitive instead of getting drowned, so to speak. And for us, Kelly came right up after the meet and said, our women's team hasn't lost a Big Ten dual meet in probably over a decade. And so it was a good step for us. And, as you kind of climb the mountain, there are steps. And I'm pretty impatient, but these women have done a really nice job of continuing to improve. We had a great Texas invite. It kind of is a good measuring stick for us in the midseason. Going down to Auburn and Georgia, we were great against Auburn. Auburn's a very tough team. Traditionally, that's a program that you walk in the building and you see 13 national championships all in the last 20 years for the men and women, and it was their senior day, and so it was nice for us to step up on the road and get a signature win, so to speak. And we got roughed up a little bit about with Georgia, but I think that kind of gives us some motivation and humbles you enough to know that we've still got some work to do. And again, this is a little bit of a different Big Ten meet than in years past, where anything's possible, and we'll go in there and see how we do. And I'm confident that we can get what we need to out of it, as far as getting people to the next step, which is NCAAs.
How much is the Big Ten championship kind of based on the depth of your team versus a national championship is more like some of the top times? Right.
Well, especially this year, this is the first year that we were scoring to 24 instead of 16. So depth will play a role in it. And again, one of the things that we've worked on is getting some of that depth. We still have a smaller team. I'm very excited about our diving. We're going to get some points out of our divers this year, which is really great. That's been a point of emphasis for us, and as our team and program evolves. I remember when I was at Georgia winning national championships there, we knew what our top 8, what they were going to do, our studs were going to do. It was the 9 through 16. Really needed to raise up, and we've got similar here. We've got a core of young women that are really good, both within the conference and nationally, and we know what we're going to get out of them, which it's going to be good. We just need our 9 through 16, so to speak, or 10 through 20 to step up.
Can you kind of briefly tell us about your 1 through 8? Or maybe a couple that have really had nice years so far?
Sure. Chase Kenny, right off the bat, she has been in Ivy Martin's shadow for 2 years. She's a junior, and she really has stepped up and done very, very well, kind of taken over that sprint piece for us. when you have a hammer at the end of the relay to throw down. And she's very competitive and has really done a nice job. Danielle Valley has been terrific for us this year. Transfer from Florida. She grew up in Florida, and things didn't work out there, and we were about the only place that she came on a visit during the recruiting process. So it's been a process for her to kind of adjust to our system and how we train, but she's as tough of a swimmer as I've ever coached, and that's saying a lot. I mean, that girl she is tough. We've got a couple seniors, Anna Meinholtz and Jenny Holtzen and Annie Tamblin, who they've really grown into their roles as leaders, and they've been to NCAAs before, so they know that they've been tested. Jessica Unicombe is a very good freshman from Australia, and she's been a great pickup for us, and has provided a great way to lead off medley relays, and she's just done a really nice job kind of from day one. She kind of had her coming out party at the Minnesota dual meet and has just kind of run with it. And then we've got some people that I think that are going to surprise other programs, hopefully not us. But Grace Wold had a terrific Texas invite. We've got some freshmen, and our program is based on development. You come in pretty good as a freshman, you have a pretty good freshman year, then your sophomore, junior, and senior, you keep getting better. And that's the strength of our program.
Whitney, is it realistic to think you can win a Big Ten title?
Well, anything's possible. You don't want to limit anybody. I believe in our women. Do I think that we may be a year away? Yeah. But you never know. It is wide open this year. I mean, again, we could be third or we could be seventh. We got to show up. And if we show up like we can, anything's possible, but we'll see. I think we may be a year away.
How do you mentally prepare the team for a meet like this? I know when I chat with some of the student athletes, they always talk about the energy, especially at Big Ten championships, just being on the pool deck and the energy from the fans and everybody competing, especially somebody like Jess Unicombe, a freshman. How do you kind of mentally get her in the mindset of what she's about to embark on?
Well, it's all about managing your energy. We've got 7 sessions, and you don't want to. It's kind of like a 200 free. You don't want to dump the bucket. If you get a bucket of energy in every race, you don't want to dump the entire bucket on the first 25. Same kind of thing. Everybody's all jacked up the first session Wednesday night, and fortunately, Jess will be swimming, a 50, so she can just blast it out a little bit. And but a lot of it too is we rely on our seniors and our leadership, and we talk a lot about. The women are really good about helping each other out, and we use that as my job is to bring the energy so they don't have to, and not to get them overhyped, but our job as coaches, bring the energy, make sure that they get what they need, and it's like a light switch. You got to go on and off and on and off, and make sure that so that the last session you're not out of bullets.